Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'd like to show you how simple it can be to hardwire any aftermarket device to your vehicle. Devices such as dash cams, reversing cameras, mobile phone chargers, sat navs, the list is endless. And if you want to hardwire any of these devices to your vehicle, the most simplest way to do it is to use these piggyback fuses. These are widely available, they're very cheap, and they've got to be the simplest and safest way to hardwire any device to your van. So that's what this video is all about, and today I'm going to be hardwiring my dash cam to my van. So this is kind of a bit of a follow-up video. I'm also going to be installing this microphone that Vofo sent me for my dash cam, so hopefully in the future I can incorporate footage from this dash cam in my future vlogs. Right, this isn't Wednesday, so I shan't waffle on. I shall get on and show you how simple these are to use. So let's start by talking about the tools I'm going to be using. Now I do need to determine which fuses are live when my ignition is off and which fuses are live when my ignition is turned on. So to do that I'm going to be using a voltmeter. Now it looks complicated, but they are really quite simple to use. More about those later. I'm also going to be using a crimping tool. This is to crimp the end of the cable that comes from the piggyback fuse to the auxiliary unit, in this case my dash cam. Now it's also a good idea to have a pair of long nose pliers. Just makes it a little bit easier to remove the fuses from your fuse holder, because these are really close together, quite impossible to get your fingers around them, so always a good idea to use a pair of long nose pliers. And that is basically it. That's all the tools you need. But in this case I will also be using a 10mm spanner to undo the earthing point on my Sprinter so that I can connect the ground cable from my dash cam. Now let's take a look at the cables I will actually be connecting. Like I said earlier, I've got my black negative, which is going to go to ground to the chassis of my vehicle, and then I've got these two power cables. One is red and it's marked battery, so this needs to be connected to a permanent live, a live that is on all the time, even when my ignition is switched off, whereas this yellow one, which is marked ACC, needs to go to a fuse that only becomes live when my ignition is switched on, and that's where my voltmeter comes into play. Now, because my dash cam is going to be drawing power permanently from my battery even when the ignition is off, the nice little feature is it's got this little protector, and this protects my battery from going flat, and underneath it's got a little button here, a little toggle switch, so I can choose how low my battery goes before this stops drawing power from it. And in this instance it's got a choice of 12.8, 12.4 volts, 12.2 volts, 12 volts and 11.8 volts. Well, at 11.8 volts my battery will be flat technically, so I'm going to set this not at 12.4 but at 12.2, because at 12.1 your battery is 50% discharged. So I'm going to give it down to 12.2. Let me know if you think that's too low. There you go, just a little bit of a close-up of that there. So that's my battery hopefully protected. Right, let's now determine which fuses I'm going to remove and replace with these piggyback fuses. So here's my voltmeter, and because I'm using it on 12 volts, I'll simply put this to the maximum of 20 volts. It's really as simple as that. The red connector goes in there and the black one goes in the COM connector. I'm going to stand that there, hopefully you'll be able to see it when I use it. I'm going to try and balance it in the bottom of the screen there. It's a little bit difficult. I'm having a bit of a trouble getting it to stand up. I'm using my pliers as a holder. There you go, that's got it. Now my black pinpointer will go to earth, and I'm going to stick this simply in the hinges of the van over here, and then the red one I shall use to explore which fuses are live and which ones are dead. So first let's just try this one because it's there. There you go, that's showing 12 point. Oh dear, looks like my battery needs charging. I'll have to take my van for a drive. So that one's live. I've got a feeling all these bottom ones are live when the ignition is off. Top one is dead. So now if I turn my ignition on, I'll see if that top row is live with the ignition switched on. Right, so now the ignition is switched on. You can hear all sorts of weird noises going on. Let's put that one on there. Take a look at our meter, and sure enough that one is live, this top one is live. So my bottom row fuses are permanently live, And these ones look like they only come on when ignition is on, so that's good. Now we know where to put our cables. So now I know what fuses to use. I need to connect my piggyback fuses to my actual sat nav. Now on my crimping tool you'll see various coloured dots here, and that correlates to the colour of the connector itself. You'll see yellow, blue and red. So this is a blue one, so this goes in the middle like that. And I'll just pick any wire, it doesn't matter which one they go on. Just get that in the right place like this. Pull that little protector cap off, twiddle it around a bit, put it in and press. Now it's a little bit loose, so I'm going to put it in the red one as well, just to make it nice and tight. Yes, what I like to do is start off by putting it in the correct one. So I'm going to put this blue connector in the blue dot, which is the middle one, like that. So that's in the blue one. Connect my cable, put it in, and then take it out of the blue one and put it in the smaller red one at the top. By doing that, you know it definitely isn't going to come loose. There you go, that is really tight in there now. So that's our piggyback fuses connected to our wires. Now like I said earlier, I also need to connect my earth up, so I shall do that next. Now I'm going to start by connecting up the permanent live, and the reason this dash cam has a permanent live is because it's got a parking mode, which means when my van's parked up unattended and the ignition is switched off, the camera is actually still working in kind of a sleep mode. If anyone was to bash into my van whilst it's parked up, the camera will then kick in and record the incident, which is a really nice feature. So let's start by removing that fuse, and the fuse that you remove goes into the fuse holder in the piggyback fuse closest to these terminals, and the fuse for the actual dash cam, and in this instance I'm just going to use a 3 amp fuse, goes in the lower one like that, and that is it. That's as simple as that. So now I'll just simply place this back into my fuse holder, if I can see it. It's very dark down here, like that. That is it. That's our dash cam now wired in permanently live. Now I'm not sure if I made that quite clear, but we'll just recap on that. So the main fuse, the fuse that you're replacing, goes into this one here, which is closest to the terminals, and the piggyback fuse goes into the one that's furthest away. So you simply take the fuse out of your fuse box. In this case I'm going to use this one up here because it's nice and close. This then goes into there. So this is now fused again, and then our piggyback fuse goes in the back, hence the name piggyback fuse, like that. Now simply place this where this fuse came out of, and we are connected. If I can get it in there. They don't make it easy. There you go. So that's now back in there like that. So now my dash cam is wired in permanently. All I need to do now is plug it in at the actual dash cam. So let's do that next and see if it works. Now for those of you that are wondering where the neutral cable ended up, there it is, right there on the end of that bolt that is pre-welded into the Mercedes Sprinter body. It was pretty impossible to film it. Well, I'm pleased to say it's working. Well, it's switched on anyway, which just goes to show how simple these are to use. I will put a link in the description to where I've got these piggyback fuse holders from. But all that's left for me to do now is to connect up my new microphone and take this for a spin around the block just to see how good the footage is. So if you're interested in seeing what the footage from this dash cam looks like now that I've tweaked it a little bit, then do stick around. Let me know what you think of the picture. It is a bit dark outside, it is a bit rainy, and there's a bit of a digger in front of us, but
I'm going to go really slowly now.
Yeah, so I'll show you the front just so you can see what we're looking at.
And it's quite tight.
Have a look at that digger, that is tight. Oh my goodness me.
It's going right into the bush.
Yeah, there he goes. I wonder what the camera's like in low light. It was asked when I did this review on the camera last time. Well, there you have it. There's a small sample from the Dashcam now that I've increased the bit rate of the camera and I've also upgraded the microphone. Has it made a difference? Is the picture quality any better than it was last time? Please do let me know in the comments section of this video what you think and whether you think it's good enough to use in future vlogs. Like if anything exciting happens out on the road when I'm out and about. I'm not going to make complete videos using the Dashcam. It will be just little tiny inserts when I'm out and about travelling. Well, there you are. Hopefully you found this video mildly entertaining or even slightly informative, and if you did, then please do give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you are new to my channel, then please do consider subscribing. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and ta-ra for now.